You won't believe what happened when a top-tier black surgeon walked into his own hospital and was mistaken for a janitor. What followed wasn't just humiliating, it became a lesson for an entire institution and nearly cost a man his life. By the time the truth came out, nothing would ever be the same. This is the story of Dr. Marcus Reed, a man who not only saved lives, but exposed the silent judgments that still walk hospital hallways. Before we dive into this powerful true story, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that make you feel, think, and see the world a little differently. Now let's begin. It was 5:30 a.m. when Marcus pulled into the parking garage of Westbridge Medical Center. The sun hadn't even cracked the horizon yet, and the world still wore that quiet blue hush that only existed in early hours. Most people hated this time of day. Not Marcus. He loved the stillness, the calm before the storm. This was when he could think, reflect, prepare. He grabbed his coffee and badge, draped his stethoscope around his neck, and headed inside through the staff entrance near the custodial wing, a habit he'd picked up during his residency when he wanted to avoid the front desk chaos. As he walked through the tiled corridor, footsteps echoing off the walls, he heard a sharp voice behind him. "Hey! You can't go in there!" He turned to see a nurse, early 50s, clipboard in hand, eyes sharp like she owned the place, power walking toward him. Her name tag read Claire Jennings. "I'm sorry," Marcus replied. "Janitorial staff isn't allowed past the prep hallway before 6. You need to wait until—" She paused, finally taking in his face, his calm eyes, the badge clipped to his coat. "I'm Dr. Reed, cardiothoracic." He held out his badge. Claire blinked, scanned it, and her face flushed a deep red. "Oh, I thought you were." Marcus tilted his head. "Yeah, I know what you thought." She fumbled for an apology, but before she could finish, the intercom erupted. Code blue, ICU. Marcus's instincts kicked in. He turned and sprinted down the hallway, ignoring the stunned expression on Claire's face. Upstairs, chaos reigned. A man in his mid-40s, Victor Torres, was crashing in the waiting room. Nurses scrambled as alarms blared, patients watched in horror. Victor had been scheduled for a bypass next week, but now his heart was giving out. There was no time. Dr. Michaels, the attending cardiologist, was stuck in traffic. The team was desperate. "We need a surgeon here now," someone shouted. Just then, Marcus burst through the door. "I'm Dr. Reed. What's the status?" "Who?" asked a young resident. "No time," Marcus snapped. "Vitals. BP crashing, 68/40, irregular rhythm, V-fib. Clear the hallway, get the OR prepped. He's going under now." Marcus took over, barking orders, snapping gloves on her, and in 10 seconds, he was leading the charge to save Victor's life. No one questioned him after that. Not when they saw the precision in his movements, the way his hands moved with calm urgency. Within minutes, Victor was intubated, stabilized, and on the way to emergency surgery. The room buzzed with adrenaline and awe. Hours later, after the procedure, a complex arterial graft, had been completed without a hitch, Marcus stepped into the recovery room, drenched in sweat. Victor was stable, alive. That's when Dr. Helen Andrews, the hospital's chief of surgery, entered. Her presence commanded respect, tall, composed, clinical. "Reed," she said, "phenomenal work." "Thank you. I understand there was a misunderstanding this morning." Claire stood beside her, visibly uncomfortable. "Dr. Reed, I want to apologize. I made an assumption, a wrong one." Marcus looked at her, holding the silence for just a beat too long. "You didn't just assume, you acted on it." Claire looked down. "I know, I'm sorry." Helen interjected, "We'll be reviewing staff conduct policies." "With all due respect," Marcus said, "this isn't about policies. It's about mindset. No manual can fix what someone refuses to see." The room went quiet. Marcus didn't wait for a reply. He left, but the incident stayed. It rippled. Whispers followed him in the hallway, some supportive, some uncomfortable. One intern, Jordan Liu, caught up with him the next morning. "Dr. Reed, I just wanted to say, what you did yesterday, it was incredible, and the way you handled the nurse, I don't know if I could have kept that kind of composure." Marcus smiled faintly. "You will. It's not about staying quiet, it's about choosing the right moment to speak loudest." Jordan nodded, writing it down mentally. Across the hospital, others began to talk, not about the surgery, but about what almost prevented it. A silent judgment, a snap decision, a mislabel that could have cost a life. In the days that followed, things began to shift. Not dramatically, not loudly, but subtly. Claire started greeting everyone by name. The admin team invited the janitorial staff to their appreciation breakfast for the first time. Someone started a diversity and sensitivity committee. Marcus didn't attend, he didn't need to. His actions spoke louder than any meeting. Meanwhile, Victor Torres woke up. His wife Elena was by his side, eyes red from tears and lack of sleep. When Marcus walked in, she stood up. "You're the one who saved him," she whispered. "Thank you." "Just doing my job," Marcus replied. "They told me you weren't even supposed to be here yet, that no one else could have done what you did. Your husband was in the right place at the right time, that's all." Elena shook her head. "No, he was in the right hands." Days turned into a week. Victor recovered fast. Marcus went back to his rhythm. Surgery, rounds, research, silence. But the change around him grew. People who once walked past him without eye contact now nodded. A few started conversations. Some even asked questions. "Dr. Reed, how did you get into cardiac surgery?" "Dr. Reed, who mentored you?" "Dr. Reed, can I shadow you sometime?" He answered patiently, but he never boasted. He didn't have to. His scalpel did the talking. One day, Jordan approached him again. "Sir, I know this is bold, but can you tell me how you got here?" "I mean, really here?" Marcus looked at him for a long moment. Then he gestured to a bench. "Sit down," told him. Growing up in a neighborhood where no one had even seen a black doctor. About watching his mother work 3 jobs and still find time to quiz him on biology terms from borrowed textbooks. About getting into med school on a scholarship and being mistaken for security on his first day. About working twice as hard for half the recognition, and about the first time he saved a life and realized it was all worth it. And listened, eyes wide. "Everything I want to be," he whispered. "No," Marcus said. "Be better." Weeks later, Westbridge Medical Center held a staff-wide seminar on unconscious bias. Not mandatory, but packed. Claire was the first to speak. She told the story herself, no excuses, just facts, and an apology. Dr. Reed could have walked away. He didn't. He saved a life, and he changed mine. In the back row, Marcus listened quietly, not for applause, but for progress. That evening, as he scrubbed in for another surgery, he caught his reflection in the steel doors. He thought of his younger self, angry, tired, determined, and he smiled, because today that kid would be proud. If this story touched you, if it reminded you of the power of one voice, one moment, and one man who didn't let the world shrink him, then hit that like button. Subscribe for more true stories that shine light in dark places and remind us what it means to truly see someone.